from dunking on sexual harassment.
What's the difference between harassment and just being an idiot? I mean, if my father didn't harass my mother, I wouldn't be here.
To annihilating companies that keep going woke.
We don't support racism, sexism, discrimination, or hate. And I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Here are 15 times woke people got absolutely humiliated by Chris Rock, starting with the time a Grey's Anatomy actor got fired for saying the F word, and Chris was the only one who came to his defense.
Yeah, we live in a crazy time. You gotta watch what you say, baby. Between the internet and all these shows, you say the wrong thing, your career's over. But here's the crazy thing, man. It's not about the words sometimes, man.
Sometimes it's about the context of what you're saying, and Chris had the perfect example for it.
You know, you say something like, man, you're the finest bitch I ever seen. That's a compliment. It ain't the word. It's the context in which the word is being said.
Chris's logic was simple. If you're fighting, you should technically be allowed to say the most hurtful thing you can, even if it means punching down.
Well, I gotta be politically correct and mad at the same time? Like if I'm driving and somebody crashes into me and they got one leg, I'm gonna talk about the leg.
Don't let your imagination run, because Chris already has the perfect lines to deploy.
Hey, you one-legged bastard! No wonder you can't brake. I hope you got some two-legged insurance.
Chris can only dream of being as vocal as that, with how PR trained the current generation's vocabulary has become, and he encountered the worst case of it when he met an old friend.
I'm like, hey, Fred, how's the job? And Fred's like, ooh, I love the job. It's a safe space. I feel seen. I feel heard. There's a lot of diversity.
Hearing Fred's DEI lines made Chris's head buzz, so he had to make sure Fred knew he wasn't a cancel cultist.
And I'm looking at him like, it's me. What, you think I'm wearing a wire or some shit?
But Chris's DEI disguise didn't last long when he exposed him in one fell swoop.
What the f you talking about safe space? You did 8 years for manslaughter. Ain't nobody safe around you.
As if DEI wasn't enough, Chris had to deal with another feminist movement that made zero sense, and didn't hesitate to break down woke stupidity at the Oscars stage.
Somebody told me this, you're not allowed to ask women what they're wearing anymore. It's the whole thing, you know, ask her more. You have to ask her more. Now, you know, it's like, you ask the men more. Hey, everything's not sexism, everything's not racism. They ask the men more because the men are all wearing the same outfits.
And as if one punch wasn't enough, Chris added a sarcastic finisher to rub in how absurd the movement sounds.
You know, if George Clooney showed up with a lime green tux on and a swan coming out his somebody would go, what you wearing, George?
Now don't get him wrong, Chris supports the LGBTQ, especially the trans female crowd. But the reason why might be different than what you think.
Like when you're watching a game, they could read defenses. That's a cover 2. Ooh, thanks, Peaches.
In fact, Chris would even be okay if his own father transitioned like Caitlyn Jenner, but he can't say the same about his siblings.
My older brother, Andre, he, you know, drives an 18-wheeler, is a Raiders fan, he's one of them you know, just if my father became a woman, Andre would have a problem with it.
And Chris knew exactly what would happen if his family became the Kardashians.
My brother Andre be like, man, f that shit, man. The f you got the heels on? The f you doing with the heels on? You don't gotta wear them up here.
But ultimately, Chris will always be there for trans defense. Or will he?
I would have to check my brother. I would have to walk up to him and go, hey, 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 she's your daddy.
Other people who are problematic parents are the ones that bring up their children thinking they're so special they can get away with anything. Well, Chris Rock is there to set them straight.
These souped up kids walking the streets today thinking they're special. I'm walking down the street and there's always some kid, hey, good work, Chris. I'm like, it's Mr. Rock.
And Chris served his next roast with a brutal drink of reality.
Stop telling your kids that they special. Maybe they special to you, but not to me. I don't play that.
But Chris is no hypocrite and makes sure his own kids know the same every time they go outside.
Nobody thinks you're cute. Nobody thinks you're smart. Nobody gives a f about your opinion. Nobody on the whole earth outside of this door gives a f about you.
Just like parents bringing up their kids thinking they're too special needs to change, so does the name of this next building that was built in the memory of 9/11.
New York, we had our own terrorist attack, and we bounced back. That's right, now we got the Freedom Tower. They should change the name from the Freedom Tower to the Never Going In There Tower. Because I'm never going in there.
Chris is so resolved, in fact, that he's ready to give up what 90% of straight men can't.
I am never going in the Freedom Tower, man. Are you kidding me? It's the same spot. Hey, I got robbed on 48th and 8th about 20 years ago. I have not been back to 48th and 8th. I don't care if Scarlett Johansson is butt naked on the 89th floor in a plate of ribs.
But when the woke activists start making noise, Chris has the perfect response to shut them up.
People are like, come on, man, don't joke about the Freedom Tower. That has something to do with 9/11. Hey, I'm not joking about 9/11. I'm not. But you gotta realize, we are in America. And in America, there are no sacred days because we commercialize everything. So we're only 5 years away from 9/11 sales.
Companies commercializing 9/11 might be a thing of the future, but billionaire Donald Sterling's thoughts definitely belong in the past, after he got exposed for telling his girlfriend not to hang around black celebrities.
The biggest news this year of all the black news was Donald Sterling.
But don't put him on in this event for the world has to see, so they have to call me. And don't bring him into my games, okay?
But Chris knew this racism was nothing uncommon.
Now let me get this straight. An 83-year-old white man doesn't like black people. Is that news? Come on. First of all, a black man couldn't look him in the eye till he was 45. The first black man he ever met, he got for Christmas.
And by the end of his rant, Chris was agreeing with Donald if it meant he could snub the cancel warriors.
What exactly did Donald Sterling say? I don't want my woman around black basketball players. Me neither. Who the hell wants their woman around black basketball players? And I'm specific to black ball players. I don't care if my woman's with J.J. Redick.
Chris's preference for brutal honesty is why he has a thorn with modern companies that tell you about everything they do, except the product they sell.
They don't even tell you about the product no more. They just tell you how much charity they do. It's like, we give back. We like to give back. We don't even like the money.
And during one of his shopping trips, Chris saw a sign outside Lululemon that almost set him off.
There's a sign that says, we don't support racism, sexism, discrimination, or hate. And I'm like, who gives a
But Chris wasn't about to stop before dropping a revolutionary idea for Lululemon.
You're just selling yoga pants. I don't need your yoga pants politics. Tell me how you work on ball sweat.
As if Lululemon wasn't enough, Chris encountered a Subaru ad saying they donated $250 to charity for each car they sold. Chris was having none of it.
I'm like, Subaru, you want to help me out? Why don't you just sell me the car for $250 less? I'm my favorite charity.
Chris could be his own favorite charity, but nice guys like him apparently aren't a woman's favorite choice, and he was sick of the hypocrisy.
You know what's bad? If you're a nice guy like me, you always get women after they've been out with an asshole. So now you gotta be their boyfriend and their psychiatrist to help them get over this psycho. That's right. For every 20 minutes of 3 hours of therapy.
Chris came prepared to nuke women like these and knew exactly where it all started.
You know what's wild? It starts a child. Little girls like little bad boys. Like little boy gives little girl Valentine's Day card. She don't want him. She wants a little boy that just punched her in the back and ran down the hall. Ooh, I love him. He's so cute.
And when consequences meet actions, Chris is there to rub salt on the wounds.
Then you grow up and you marry that same little boy. And next thing you know, you're on Oprah going, I don't know what I did to deserve this. It just ain't right. But yo, you picked that man. You chose that man. You know, you could have had nice boy Roy, but you picked McGee.
And when being brutally honest about relationships wasn't enough, Chris became painfully honest for parents who want to raise their kids without bullies.
We need bullies. Pressure makes diamonds. Not hugs. Right? Hug a piece of coal and watch what you get. You get a dirty shirt.
And while Chris was out of line, his reasoning actually made sense.
I'm telling you, we need bullies. That's why there's so many fat kids in school right now. Because there's nobody to take their lunch money.
But there is that one group who thinks their problems are worse until Chris straightens them out.
I hate when people go, well, you know what? Cyberbullying's worse. Shut up. I never heard of anybody getting cyber kicked down a flight of stairs.
And to really nail his point on the left wing, Chris explained the worst consequence of removing bullies.
That's how Trump became president. That's exactly what happened. We got rid of bullies, a real bully showed up, and nobody knew how to handle him.
And just like Trump, this next interviewer didn't know how to handle the conversation when he asked Chris why he started touring and got the most straightforward answer.
Tell me, Chris, you are now touring again, and it's been like 9 years since.
It's been a while, yes.
You did this.
Been a minute.
What made you do it again?
What made me do it again? I got divorced and lost all my money. I would hire my ex's divorce lawyer in a minute.
But despite losing half his belongings, Chris still had space to joke about it.
I gotta give her 30% of that sip I just took.
His ex-wife isn't the only person he has beef with, because Chris also has a bone to pick with doctors who haven't cured illnesses that still ail people.
If you go blind, they don't got but you look at Stevie Wonder. Been blind for 40-something years, got all the money in the world, don't know if he got hundreds or ones.
And according to Chris, what's worse than being blind? Being blind and having a dog.
Doc, I'm blind, what you got? Why don't you take this dog and have the dog drag your blind ass around town? That's all the you got the damn dog, man. If I could see, I would whip your ass.
But Chris could only imagine how frustrating the experience must be.
What kind of shit is that you can't see so you can't read the dog lips? You just listen, what, my shoelace untied? What?
And instead of dogs, Chris proposed the most unhinged alternative solution instead.
Just give blind people midgets. If you're a midget, it's already hard enough to get a job. Just have the midget tell the blind man where to go. Be a seeing eye man.
Chris might have the most insane takes, but he isn't necessarily wrong. Just like he isn't completely wrong about the correct definition of sexual harassment.
What is sexual harassment? What's the difference between sexual harassment and just being an idiot? I mean, if my father didn't harass my mother, I wouldn't be here. So what's sexual harassment? When an ugly man wants some? Oh, he ugly. Call the police. Call the authorities.
And before the LGBTQ crowd could witch hunt him, Chris made sure they knew he was on their side.
The other big thing they try to get Clinton on is gays in the military. Gays in the military. Everybody got all homophobic. Ooh, don't let them in. Hey, they want to fight, let them fight. Because I ain't fighting. I wouldn't care if I saw a Russian tank on Flatbush Avenue. I'm not fighting nobody.
But even if no one came to his side, he seems to have one perfect ally.
I got a gay uncle. Call him Aunt Tom. I love my Aunt Tom. I know right now if I was in a fight, Aunt Tom would come in there, take off his pumps, and whoop some.
But a fight that Chris wants no part of is the one Luigi Mangione got himself in when he shot the CEO of United Healthcare. But while everyone focused on the situation, Chris noticed something insane.
We got Luigi, and that's good. I really feel sorry for the family. I mean, everybody's fixated on how good looking this guy looks. If he looked like Jonah Hill, no one would care. It already gave him the chair already. Be dead. He actually killed a man, a man with a family, a man with kids, man. But you also gotta go, sometimes drug dealers get shot.
And just as a reminder, Chris happily leans left when it makes the most sense, and he did it again on live TV.
What are your thoughts on the cancel culture? Like, if you say something wrong, people will try to cancel you immediately.
When you're a comedian, when the audience doesn't laugh, that we get the message. I don't understand why people feel the need to go beyond that. You know what I mean? It's honestly, to me, it's a disrespect. It's people disrespecting the audience. Like, oh, you think you know more than the audience.
And Chris added how cancel culture is the one killing true comedic art, contrary to LGBTQ belief.
Hey, some things don't need to be said. Some people need to be looked out for. I definitely understand that. But not letting comedians work is, what happens is everybody gets safe.
Right.
And when everybody gets safe and nobody tries anything, things get boring.
Which is exactly the reason why Chris Rock continues to humble woke people and woke culture from spreading like wildfire.